Emily.
And Steph notably takes a little bit wider grip in the snatch, so obviously allows you to get the bar a little bit higher into the pocket on your second pull, but you sacrifice a little bit of stability overhead going wide, and hopefully she didn't hurt something.
A 200-pound lift, multiple 190-pound snatches. With that 210 lift from Madison in heat number 1, will survive one more heat.
A nice performance from Emily White out of the pack CrossFit. Opened a little bit more conservative than some of the athletes in the heat, hits 175, but you know what? It's not about necessarily where you start, it's where you finish. But still so far, the athlete to beat, Madison McElhenney from heat 1. 200 pounds in her second lift, 210, no problem. And her third and final lift, basically daring the rest of the field to come catch her. And then Emily White goes 175, 190, and then 200 pounds, saving her best for last. Gives her the top lift from the heat. Right now, she's second on the board, and a couple of 200-pound snatches so far going into the top heat overall.
Heat 2 is done. The third and final heat for the individual women, and the first event at the 2020 Granite Games is coming up next.
Hey, I like your Dare shirt, Kevin.
Day 1 of the 2020 Granite Games marches on as the individual women from heat number 3 for event number 1 presented by Ram Truck. And if we're at the Granite Games and you know your history, we're gonna do some snatching.
Oh yeah, we have seen some tremendous lifts at the Granite Games over the years. Back when they were at St. Cloud State lifting in the hockey rink. A little upgrade so far. Moving to this beautiful Minnesota Vikings football facility. And hopefully we're gonna see an upgrade as far as some of the top lifts that we've seen thus far in heat number 3.
Lane assignments for heat 3 presented by CBD MD. We have 3 teenagers breathing down the necks of 2 veterans in the sport. But if you're talking about heavy lifts and games veterans, you look at Alessandra Pacelli.
Yeah, Alessandra Pacelli, one of the most powerful athletes in the sport. Always a top finisher anytime she shows up in a max lift event. You remember 2017 at the games, we had the max snatch event. She was tied for second, tied with Tia Tia-Clair Toomey. Actually would have won the event, but misloaded her barbell just a little bit.
Add one more plate on there and you get it.
Nicole McGinley, formerly Nicole Chauvin, when she competed at regionals, finished 1 spot shy of qualifying. She has a listed 205 snatch. She is quite familiar with the Olympic lift, so wouldn't be surprised to see her north of 200 here.
5, 3, 2, 1.
What a way to kick it off in lanes 1 and 2. Rachel Vonderach, Emma Ferreira. Off the platform in lane 2 for Emma. 185 and 165. Nicole McGinley in lane 3, as you said, opening up with a big 185 and a good-looking 185 at that.
That looked smooth. And that was the same weight that we saw Madison open with as well. So if she takes the same level of jumps, she could be right there at the top.
One of the 3 teenagers we have competing here in the 3rd and final heat is in lane 5, Paige Powers. And she'll stumble at 175. Just to her right, Kendall Vincelletti will miss at 180, and Paige will hit 175. That just looked like nerves on that first lift for Paige.
Yeah, she had the bar more than high enough to get it into the right spot. Just a little instability, maybe a little bit off balance.
2 veterans of the sport. 195 opener for Pacelli, and she'll miss it. And she has 3 seconds to go. Chrissy Ermo-O'Connell will not hit hers. And Pacelli will get it at 195. We move to 2 veterans, to 2 of the most highly anticipated teenagers in the sport of CrossFit. Emma Carey on the left. She nails 185, and Mal O'Brien hits 175.
And they showed you exactly why there is so much hype around these 2 teenagers. Emma Carey opening with 185, caught it a little off balance, patience overhead, beautiful movement. Mal O'Brien just 10 pounds back of her, still in the hunt for a potential top spot with the opening lifts, showing no signs of nerves their first time on the competition floor here.
And what was the big question coming in for these teenagers is, you did great at home, you did great in your own gym, how are you going to handle the spotlight with Games veterans? Well, Pacelli and Eremo missed their first 2 lifts. Pacelli got in her second one. They hit both of theirs. I say that's a pretty good confidence boost as we move into the second round. 200 on the bar for Nicole in lane number 3 on the left side of your screen. That's the second heaviest lift, but it didn't look that pretty. She's got some more in the tank, maybe eyeing that 210 we saw from Madison in heat number 1.
And this is really some redemption for Nicole McGinley. She competed at the Reykjavik CrossFit Championships in 2019 on the max snatch and actually hurt her ankle trying to save a lift. So far, so good, and she puts herself in a great position.
190 for Paige Powers in lane number 5, just 18 years old.
She told me that she's been working with Coach B as part of the Mayhem Athletes. She said she was excited to showcase her newfound strength.
Second heaviest weight on the bar for Pacelli on the left at 205. Eremo O'Connell will hit 170, and 205 is good for Alessandra Pacelli. They may take a little bit of a look to the left and see what these 17-year-olds are going to do. 95 for Emma Carey on the left, 185 for O'Brien on the right. Carey will nail 195, and O'Brien just behind her. And that looked better than the first lift. And we got a little smile from Emma Carey.
Get used to what we just saw on this screen. These 2 athletes going head-to-head, fighting for the top spot in a heat. It's hard to say that you're impressed already, but so far what we've seen, just with these 2 lifts, coming out and competing like they're well above their age.
180 and 190. We already have a 200 and a 205 and a 195 in this heat, but that'll be good for Rachel and Emma. We got to see what Nicole McGinley is going to put on the bar. Just hit 205 and bumping up to 215. Here we go. And there it is, if she can hold on to it. And watch out, young ones. Nicole is ready to play.
And you can see the elation on her face.